go for it.
Oh, hi everyone. Awesome. Welcome to our Freedom Lifestyle event. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Bridget, and if you're watching here tonight live or someone has sent you this recording, then equally welcome. So just a little bit of a background about me. I have been in this incredible business for the last 4.5 years. And if you'd asked me 5 years ago if I would be working online, I would have laughed. Personally, I didn't really know that it was possible. And secondly, I had a very successful catering company, so it was not even on my radar. But after having incredible results with our products and program, the business just made sense to me. And it was a great little side hustle for about 3.5 years, but you never know when your plan B needs to become your plan A. And when I got pregnant with my second child, I was so happy that I didn't have to return to catering and I was able to stay at home and work around him. But tonight is about Kaywyn, so I would like to invite you to sit back and just relax and listen with an open heart and an open mind. And I am super excited to be working alongside her. And I would just really like Kaywyn to share with us from the beginning, really. So Kaywyn, I'd really love you to share like how you came across these products and what got you interested in them, and if any impact, what impact has it had on your life so far? So if you take yourself off mute, Han, and you can share.
Thanks everyone for coming. I know it was a bit random and a little bit kind of like, smoke and mirrors online, but I actually, Maureen was meant to be here with us tonight, but she's not feeling so great, so she's tucked herself up in bed. But so she was actually the first person I started with these products, and I wanted something for my kids, and they had these chewable products, and they were really great because the kids got into them. And then I was like, oh, maybe I should kind of look at them myself. And so I started taking these products about 6 months ago, and I've been taking lots and lots of supplements over the years and wishing, they'd work and wishing things would kind of happen to a greater degree. But I started taking these products and I couldn't freaking believe what I was seeing. So when I turned 45, things got really ugly. To 45, we just get that hump. It's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. I put on like 20 kgs over a year and a half. I was bloated. I lost all my intolerance to like gluten and dairy and sugar and not alcohol. Thank God for that. It just became a really, really ugly time. And so when I started taking Juice Plus, honestly, I couldn't just believe the difference and like my bloating. But one of the other things, I had been diagnosed with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and that had been a bit of a, hard thing to accept, and that makes your gut a wee bit bigger, and that really doesn't make you feel very good about yourself. But I've kind of, with taking these products, just seem to have dumped my body full of nutrients, and I don't get that bloating anymore. My liver has settled down. My bloods for all my liver has settled down, and it's been pretty amazing. But I think one of the most biggest things that people have really, really noticed about me is that, is probably my hair is the thing that everyone knows me for, is that over the years, I have been carrying about a bit of a moth-eaten rug, as I call it. And, when I was in Africa traveling with Chris and the crew, I shaved all my hair off, and my hair was just a thing for me my entire life. Made me feel really bad about myself, lack of self-confidence. But since I've been taking Juice Plus, I have been taking some other supplements. You take a lot of things over your life, and just all of a sudden my hair started to grow. So I don't know, I've never had hair like this before in 17 years. And the last 2 weeks ago on a Saturday, I had a friend give me a haircut for the very first time in 25 years. So that was a pretty amazing moment for me. And so, look, I'm nowhere near Rapunzel, don't get me wrong, but I am certainly well on my way to having hair again, which is amazing. But lots and lots of things. I've just felt a huge difference. I sleep well, my energy is great. I can go kick a ball in the park with my son. What else? It's always like in the medical profession, we talk about drugs that marry to make other drugs work really well. Like we talk about Panadol being a great marrying drug in terms of pain relief and things. And I just kind of felt like I choo-chooed along with regular supplements and things. But what Juice Plus has done, these products have just like elevated all the results I ever wanted. So I think that's been one of the biggest things for me. I felt like I've kind of prattled now. I just want it to be a little bit organic and from the heart.
It's awesome. I love it. I love your story. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing and being brave and sharing with everybody. So I guess you're all probably like, what are these supplements that she's talking about? So I'm going to share with you guys a little bit about our products. I guess first I'll tell you just a little bit about my story with them. I came across them, actually, I wasn't looking for anything. I was looking for an online health and wellness program, and I was like Kaywyns, I was already taking loads of supplements, so I definitely wasn't looking for anything more, but their products came with it. I did the 8-week program and had great results, and it was kind of coming into like 9-10 weeks, I started to notice all these changes. So apart from like having more energy and other things, I noticed that my skin had cleared. I suffered with adult acne really badly until my mid-30s, so it had cleared. My hormones regulated, so I didn't get any more period pains. My periods became super regular, and I used to get at least one migraine a month. So lock myself in the room, that's it, migraine. And about 6 or 7 weeks into taking the products, I had my last migraine. So that kind of just made me sit up and take notice with them, and it's just been incredible for our family with our immune systems and things like that. If we get sick, we seem to bounce back straight away. So enough about that. Our products, I love them because they're so simple. So we have our fruit capsules, we have vegetables, and we have berries. So everybody knows that we need to eat a lot of fruit and vegetables. I'm not sure if anyone's going to argue with me that they're good for you. I know that we're meant to be getting at least 9 serves of fruit and veg a day. I did say 9, not 5. So I'm not sure. Maybe you want to pop in the chat how many serves of fruit and veg you guys have had today. On the good days, when I do get a lot of fruit and veg in, often it's from the supermarket and it's been shipped halfway across the world, stored in a fridge, and then being gas ripened. So it loses a lot of its nutrients. So the wonderful thing about Juice Plus is that it's vine ripened. So that means that it's left on the plant or the vine until it's got all its nutrients. I learned recently, because my boy has really bad eczema and he can take the products, that this means because it's picked at its peak ripeness, it's really low in histamines, which means that he can have them, which is amazing because he can't have a lot of fruit. But at the moment, he can literally only eat pears. So everything that is grown using organic principles, and once it's picked, it's processed straight away. So it is called Juice Plus, but it's not a juice, it is a capsule. So what happens is they take all of the plant, they use this stalks, the pips, the seeds, the skin, everything, and they chuck it in and make a huge slushy. And so then what you're left with is a beautiful product that has all the fiber as well, and it's slowly dehydrated, and the water and the sugar evaporates, and you're left with the powder, and we get it's encapsulated. So this is kind of one of the capsules here. I don't know if you can see it like that. So because we know that not everybody can take capsules, we have them in a chewable form as well, and this is for adults who don't like to take capsules, or for our children. And the awesome thing about Juice Plus is that if you are on an adult's version of the products, you can get a sponsor a child between the age of 4 and 18, so you can get free product for that child for up to 4 years. So if you want to know more about that, then just have a talk to Kaywyn afterwards. So I know there's a few nurses on here, right? So tonight I'll tell you about what we're talking about a little bit about today, about the Medline database. So Juice Plus is on the Medline database, and apparently only 10% of products actually make it to the database. And most products impact value on there are between 5 and 15. Juice Plus's impact value is over 100. So that, to me, is something that I've learned to share. It doesn't mean that much to me, but if you're a nurse or in the medical profession, that will mean a little bit, no? Our other beautiful product is a vegan omega. So we all need omegas. No, we can't get omegas from our food source. We need to, can't make them ourselves. We need to get them from a food source. So most people think fish oils and fish for omegas. This is a vegan omega. So we use the algae that the fish would normally eat to create their own omegas. So we grow that algae. There's no heavy metal contamination. And then we added in seeds in there. So there's like raspberry seed, there's pomegranate seed, there's sea buckthorn and safflower oil. The awesome thing about this is that they've made a way to be able to seal the oil without heat treating it, because once you heat treat an oil, it starts to go off and go rancid. So Juice Plus have got around that, and they've managed to encapsulate the omega in a vegan capsule without being heat treated, which is awesome. And our last product is my favorite product, which is the complete powders. So this is your macronutrition. So even though it's a complete meal, if you're talking about carbohydrates and fats, I'm not advocating a meal replacement. I use these as a smoothie booster in the morning. So I chuck it in a smoothie with a banana, some almond butter and things like that. My daughter has one in the morning. She's really not a big eater in the morning, so these are awesome just to get some superfoods into her. They've got like broccoli sprouts in them, yucca powder, mushroom powder, spirulina powder, radish sprouts, whole lot of goodness. And they taste like chocolate milk. They're amazing. So of course I understand that we can't just give somebody these incredible products and then say see you later, go and eat McDonald's every day, because that's not going to work. No. So we have some incredible talented people inside our business that are personal trainers and nutritionists, and they've put together an amazing online health and wellness program for us. There's hundreds of family-friendly recipes there. There's a mindset series. There's online workout guides, everything you need for a holistic approach to life. So we're all about counting vitality, not calories, and just teaching people to create healthy habits within the home, so the whole family is learning, to eat healthier. So this is all supported through Facebook and our website that we have. So you're never going to feel like you're alone, on your journey. So that's a little bit about our products, but of course, with every amazing product, there's an incredible community and an opportunity to earn some money behind it. So I would love to pass this on to a good friend of mine, Adam, and he's going to share with you a little bit about the business that's behind this.
Awesome. Thank you, Bridge. Thank you for sharing. And again, I want to say a big congratulations for Kaywyn for launching tonight and sharing her story. You did amazing, girl. It's never, sometimes the hardest people to share in front of are the people that are closest to you, your family, friends. I suppose tonight, more than anything, guys, is definitely not an invite to say you've got to come and do this. I think tonight, more than anything, is just to celebrate Kaywyn getting started. Obviously, some of the results, I'm going to guess if you guys know Kaywyn, you've already seen probably some of the results that she's had. I recently found out about them myself inside our community, and I'm like, girl, you got to share these results with other people. It's incredible. And I think, first and foremost, I actually fell in love with the Juice Plus company first and foremost because of the products. I've been a personal trainer, or I have been in the health and fitness space. I was a personal trainer, health studio owner, nutritionist for many, many years. And as you can imagine, I got approached by lots of different people with products to share with my clients. I was very holistically minded, always wanted to help people about the wisdom of whole food nutrition. And I think, when we hear results like Kaywyn's, there's no doubt, like, is Juice Plus amazing? Yes. But what's more amazing is our bodies and what our bodies can do if it's given the correct fuel every single day, really given those nutrients. And I think, we've seen firsthand the impact that Juice Plus has had on Kaywyn and lots of other really cool results as well. And yes, Bridge, one of the things we love about this that you can still do this with screaming kids in the background. I love that about Juice Plus. It's we can do it from anywhere. I'm here on the Gold Coast in Australia, a long way away from New Zealand, but where most of the other Kiwis live, if they're not living in New Zealand. I think they live here on the Gold Coast. They've made a TV show about it, I think, Kiwis living on the Gold Coast. But I think for me, you know, what had me lean into the Juice Plus business, I was a traditional business owner for many, many years. I actually owned my own business for about a dozen years. And to be honest, I got into owning my own traditional business because I wanted to ultimately wake up every day and kind of do life on my terms. And after about a dozen years of owning my own business, I probably came to the conclusion that owning your own life and owning your own business probably should never be said in the same sentence. I was a guy that was working 60, 70 hours a week. And I think before having kids, I'm a father of two beautiful little girls these days. And I think before having kids, probably me working was the best use of my time to stay out of trouble. I do live here on the Gold Coast. It's a pretty crazy town, to be honest. But I think once I become a dad, definitely my values become really torn about one, wanting to be successful in business and financially to create financial stability, certainty, security long term, but also I wanted to be a good dad. And often we say that your voids become your values. And my void was always my dad. I grew up in a family where my dad worked his ass off all his life. He worked long hours also. I'm obviously not the sharpest tool in the toolbox, because even while I watched my dad's life play out, literally watched him work till the day that he physically could, and sadly passed away 6 months after, I was still mirror and modeling him. I was still living that life of yesteryear. And I think many of us are living the life of yesteryear, that many of us are trying to get ahead in a world that has changed so much, that we're trading time for money. We're working inside traditional business models and wondering why we seem so frustrated with our lives. I can tell you right now, that was me. I definitely wasn't living the life of my dreams. And I suppose I was becoming a little bit cynical and a grumpy old man at age 36. As skeptical as I was, I took the time to lean into this and just have a look. I think for me, it's a great saying, if nothing changes, nothing changes. You know, the definition of insanity is continuing to do the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. When I looked into this, I think one of the first things that I really considered or really looked at around the Juice Plus business and my traditional business, what I know is that my traditional business and most companies or organizations that we work inside of are structured very much like this. At the top of any organization, if you work for a company right now, it might, I forget, what is the Woolworths version, the New Zealand Woolworths, Countdown. Is that what it's called? It's called Countdown. I remember when I go to New Zealand, I'm like, that's just like our Woolworths. It's even the same branding. It's just got a different name. So if you know, even just a company like Countdown, at the top of any of those companies, you have a CEO. Below them, you have board of directors and state managers and area managers and store managers. And then you have section and aisle managers. And then down below, you have the people that are working on the front line, working their butts off to try to get ahead, to slowly work themselves up through these positions to hopefully get a pay rise. But the reality is often when we work in organizations like this, although we're getting paid more, are we living more? Are we really living more? Or do we have more responsibilities, more stress, more things on our shoulders? And you start to wonder, is this all worth it? Is all the work, all the pain, all the extra money really worth the pain that goes through? Does anyone work in a traditional business like this? I think often what we know about businesses like this also is to work ourselves up through these positions. It's very cutthroat, it's competitive. You often got to step on the shoulders of people that you even like, friends, to get ahead in that model. The thing that I love about the Juice Plus business, it looks a lot more like this. One is that there is no ceiling or cap to what the possibilities are. And what I know about this is that there are lots of different reasons why people are often here. And often there are three types of people. There are people that are here that are just looking for a way or love the idea of creating additional income streams. There's many, it's almost crazy in the world that we live today that we think that the one income that we might have right now is the thing that's always going to be there. I think there is no doubt over the last 2 or 3 years, we've all been challenged around where our mind is about that. To not have a backup plan, to not have, multiple streams of income is almost, I don't know, is it a little naive these days not to have that. So I think a lot of people come here just for that. There are other people that are here that just want to create a nice little part-time income as something in and around what they're doing, you know, a little side hustle to create extra income so they can create more financial stability, certainty, security, maybe travel more, maybe just say yes to a few more things that they often can't because of their one income. Or they might be like me, they're here for a plan A. They're looking for a better way. For me, that was me. I was here. I actually got introduced to a young 27-year-old couple. The month I met them, they were making a six-figure a month income. For me, the idea of a six-figure a month income blew my mind away. There was no way I ever thought that that could be possible for me. But it definitely, I think for me, I thought to myself, if I could make 5 to 10% of that a month, that'd totally change our lives. They were making more money per month than I was making per year. And I felt like I was a pretty hardworking, driven, ambitious kind of guy. And again, in hindsight, I think when I look back on that, you know, as the world has changed, how most of us come across products and services these days is certainly not the same way our parents did, even the same way we did 10 years ago. Social media, the internet, word of mouth has totally changed the game. There is no doubt about that. And I think many of us are recommending lots of products to one another, lots of services to one another, but we're not reaping any sort of benefits for that. And why shouldn't you? If you're promoting something, why shouldn't you be remunerated for that to a certain degree? That's what I love about it. I think the other thing that I was always hesitant about this, and I know Kaywyn has shared a little bit of that with me over the last week, is the thing that I was always hesitant about this is I honestly said, I always thought the only way you could be successful at something like this is you had to run around and annoy all your friends. And honestly, although I am 45 these days, am I about to go downhill, Kaywyn? I was a bit scared when you were sharing that. I'm like, am I about to go downhill? Have I not quite gone downhill yet? But I think for me, being cool is still pretty high on my agenda. Although I'm hanging on to it very grimly at 45. Like my kids always say, Dad, you're not cool anymore. But I think for me, if I had to run around and annoy my friends about this, then for me, honestly, there's no way I would have been interested in this. The thing that I got about this is about helping people. And I love helping people. This is about helping people in two really important areas of people's lives. One is health. I think we all know people around us that want to get healthier, whether it's to lose a little bit of weight, whether it's to have more energy, sleep better. We hear so many cool stories here. And for me, it's just about recommending and sharing something that I love, that I've felt, that I've personally had some great results with, but I've also seen so many others get great results as well. And then the other thing we have to help people with, if people that are looking for that, to help people create more financial certainty, security, more financial independence in their life so they can do more of the things they want. There's no doubt financial stress probably causes more disease than anything else in this world when we think about how much stress. And with inflation right now, there's never been a time in our life where people are looking for a way to generate extra streams of income. I don't know about you guys, but I know inflation is crazy in New Zealand, just like it is here in Australia right now, and it's only predicted to continue to go up and up. Is that often people do one or two things. They either decide that we're going to live less for a while, or we're going to look for a way to create an additional income stream. Here in Australia, and I don't think it's going to be any different in New Zealand, is that they predict by the end of this year that the average family's everyday living expenses will increase by $650 a month, which is pretty scary, especially when you think about that 70 to 80% of the community are just getting by week to week, month to month, which is pretty scary. Yes, is petrol over $3 in New Zealand right now? Is it almost $4? Somebody told me that it's going to get close to $4. No? Someone recently told me from New Zealand that they're predicting it could get that. So let's not even talk about that. That's depressing. Kaywyn, I know you're here. Not only have you got some incredible results, and I know your resistance has been like, I don't want to annoy my friends about it, but I definitely want to share it with people that want to get healthy. Tell us, what is it about the business, or what is it about the idea of not only helping people around you, but being able to create an extra income? Tell me, what is it about this that attracts you to this part of Juice Plus?
Well, I think it's pretty safe to say I am so way out of my comfort zone. I probably another universe right now. I have actually, there's friends on here who are nurses who have taken leaps of faith and gone into health fields, like my friend Sonia, and seen nurses kind of excel at the other end of health, at the preventative end, rather than just always being the ambulance at the bottom of the cliff. So, you know, there is roles for nurses to be at the front end of that. But I think really just seeing these amazing results, I mean, honestly, I wish I could get paid to say every time how much these have helped me. But why I've joined the business, I'll be really frank with you, I joined the business so I could get my own products cheaper, you know, let's be honest. But then I just started thinking, I'm kind of being a bit selfish keeping all of this to myself. And I'm a single mum. I might earn what most people would consider a pretty good wage on paper as one person. But when you're a single mum raising two boys and everything that they want and need to do, I'm really only the equivalent of two low income workers. And when you think about having to run a whole house, and I recently had the pleasure of living with my parents for 10 months, and that was amazing. I don't know if they'd say the same. Would you, Jude? I don't know. I'm choosing to think that they thought it was an incredible time. But I'm back in my own house. Last year I sold my house and I've got another little cottage, and I'm back on the mortgage train, and things start to get a wee bit tighter again. But honestly, it's not the money which drives me here. It really isn't. It's just that, yeah, I know it just sounds so cliche, but I haven't come across products like this before. You know, if I can grow my hair back after 30 odd years of not having hair, yeah. Holy crap. I just imagine what else it's doing to my body.
Yeah.
So, you know,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I love
so
that.
That's really the reason. But this is a terribly uncomfortable space for me. And inviting all my friends, I feel really vulnerable. You know, like I'm thinking all my friends are just thinking I brought them in here, tricked them into coming into some kind of, like, now you got this products. But I just truly wanted people to know what it done for me, because there's a lot of people who watched me, you know, struggle in my confidence, you know, all these years. And yeah, I think I promised myself at 50 things would change.
I love it. I love it. You do an amazing job with, honestly, like I said, I've said this a few times. I know I've only known you for a week, but I feel like I already know you so well, and just the impact that this is having already on so many levels, it's really cool. And one of the things we often say here is, you know, the money that people are able to create here is just a direct reflection of the lives that they are impacting around them, whether it be with health or helping people create more financial certainty, security in their life. I think for me, I'm not like even though I like, yes, I'm going to share about the income earning potential here, but I certainly don't say that to impress anyone, to impress upon what is possible here. And I'm not obsessed with money, but I'm certainly obsessed with what money can give you. It gives you the opportunity to have choices. It gives you life, you know, time freedom. It gives me the ability to be a more present dad, to be able to create an income from home and be able to pick up my kids from school every single day, to be able to say yes to the things without them being spoiled little brats, but say yes to things that they want to do and open up opportunities that, you know, even just as a young boy that I wasn't given, you know, to be able to say. And I think, and the other thing is contribution, to be able to contribute and help people more around us that are seriously struggling. And I think we all know that there's loads of people around us that are struggling, and to be able to sew in and help them. So I don't want to talk too much more about it. If you guys would love to find out more about what is Juice Plus, maybe even what Juice Plus could be for you, if the idea of taking your health to the next level is something that does interest you, whether it's to have more energy, have more hair, and now we can't promise everyone's hair is going to grow back, by the way. But I will say, if having more energy, better skin, hair, nails, sleeping better, there's so many incredible results here. You know, why not support someone that you love, someone that you trust, and just say, hey, you know, how would Juice Plus help me? You know, this is what I've been working towards, or this is somewhere I'd love to get some results. Can it help me? And we'd certainly love to help answer your questions. And again, just support someone that you know, like, and trust, rather than, you know, those big guys that we always seem to lean into and doing that. And if the idea of creating an extra income is something that's attractive to you, or you know somebody right now that might be a little stretched financially that maybe this is a good fit for, then we just, you know, encourage you to, again, maybe connect, or maybe reach out to Kaywyn. Like, take the time to get your questions answered. I know for me, you know, when I came along and had a look at this 8.5 years ago, was I skeptical? Me saying that I was skeptical was an understatement. There was no way I was doing this. But I'd heard some incredible results that just got me curious about what potentially this could be. And so, for me personally, something just resonated. I don't know what it was, but I think I asked myself a couple of questions. The first one was, what if? What if this thing actually did work? What if this thing was actually real? What if this could be a nice little extra income for us? And back then, an extra $500 to $1,000 a month made a huge difference in our life. There is no doubt about that. And I think the other question I asked myself, if it's not this, then what? What is it going to be? Am I going to continue to do life the way I'm doing it, or am I ready to make some sort of change? And, you know, if that resonates with you in any way, I really want to encourage you to do what I did way back then, 8.5 years ago. You know, I've had the pleasure to say that this has been my full-time gig for 7.5 years now. Within 12 months, this came my full-time gig. I was able to walk away from my traditional business. I'm not here to spruik up some idea that this is going to be that for you, but at the end of the day, it's my story, and it's certainly been possible for lots of people around me as well. But if anything resonates here, I just encourage you to reach out. Take the time to get your questions answered. I certainly had loads of questions. I'm sure Kaywyn did as well. I know she was a bit resistant as well. I know Bridget was, but I would say just don't be afraid to just take the time to get your answers question. If it's a good fit, awesome. If you know someone that's a good fit, we'd love that too. But again, I want to say a big thank you for everyone for jumping on. Bridget, amazing job presenting with a little bubba in the background. And Kaywyn, congratulations on your launch. Would you like to just give everyone your love to finish things off?
I think most of this group know how much I love them. And yes, just Maureen, so sorry that she couldn't be here tonight. So, but same thing goes with her. You know, got any questions and stuff, ask her. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you all for coming.
Also, Bridget, if you want to press stop on the recording, and if any of you guys have any questions,